In today's video, we'll be going over two new PlayStation 4 games that have been announced. One of them is a very well-received PC game that released earlier in December, and it looks to be making its way over to the PlayStation 4. Very excited to talk about that, and we've got another pretty interesting game headed over to the PS4. Speaking of the PS4, one of Sony's best first-party studios has been Santa Monica Studio. They put out God of War in 2018, but of course, they're hard at work at some other projects. Right now, Santa Monica Studio is in a mass hiring spree as they have over 30 job listings posted. Also, I know a lot of you guys want to check out the Dreams public beta, and signups are starting tomorrow, so get excited for that and you'll be able to sign up and check out the beta for yourself. Also, as is the case every year, we know that Call of Duty is going to get a brand new game in 2019, but a new report suggests that the game will not be Call of Duty Ghosts 2, as has long been rumored. And finally, we have some specific sales numbers for Battlefield 5. Sales numbers for BF5 have been a big talking point, as this game has been a rather big disappointment from a commercial standpoint, so I want to take a look at the numbers that VG Charts has posted at the end of this video. More on that in a little bit. First up, we know that the retro shooter in Dusk is coming to the PlayStation 4, and it'll be getting New Game Plus and co-op. Now, if you don't know what Dusk is, this was a game that was released on PC and Steam early on in December, and it's a retro shooter that has you battle through an onslaught of mystical backwater cultists, possessed militants, and even darker forces as you attempt to discover just what lurks beneath the earth in this retro FPS inspired by the 90s legends. Now, right now on Steam, it has a staggering 97% overwhelmingly positive reception. That's very good. It goes for around $20, and I know initially just looking at the game, you might be off-put a little bit just on the look of the game and the visuals. However, that was really the style that it was going for, and seeing it come over to the PlayStation 4, that'll be quite exciting, especially because the reception to this game has been very positive. Again, it's got 97% positive feedback on Steam, and also right now on Metacritic, it's sitting at a very impressive 89. Outside of Dust, though, which we don't have a release date for at this point, but once we hear about that, we'll let you guys know. Jackquest Tale of the Sword is also coming to the PS4, and this will be coming very soon, January 24th. It's described as a fast-paced fantasy action platformer, and it'll launch on the PS4 for just $9.99, and here's the description from the game from Blowfish Studios. One fateful night when young Jack takes the beautiful Nara for a walk in the woods, his love is kidnapped by the villainous orc Korg. Forced to mount a rescue, Jack plunges into Korg's underground base where he happens upon a strange blade that becomes an unlikely ally. In Jackquest, players will explore the cavernous depths of Korg's slime-ridden labyrinth lair. There, they will solve environmental puzzles, discover power-ups, obtain new abilities, collect weapons, and challenge subterranean foes, including massive bosses. A fast-paced affair, Jackquest wastes no time with its quick combat and steady progression, guiding players through a single interconnected world full of secrets, collectible gems, and hidden challenges that are sure to keep completionists engaged for hours on end. Now, again, it's only being released at a price point of $9.99. Maybe not a title you'll want to check out right away, especially that January 24th release date. Resident Evil 2 Remake comes out the day after, then Kingdom Hearts 3 shortly follows. Kind of a busy time for gamers, but one to keep an eye on, and maybe it's one to add to your wish list for now. Moving on from that, it looks like Sony Santa Monica Studio are hard at work at their next project. Of course, in 2018, they brought forth God of War, which was a tremendous game, won a lot of Game of the Year awards. It really came down to God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2, and a lot of people are saying that God of War was a better game than RDR2. I'm not gonna get into that debate right now, but Sony Santa Monica Studio looks to be working on their next project, as they have over 30 new job listings posted under game development. This includes a senior producer, project manager, senior animation manager, and senior level designer. Now, a lot of you guys are gonna think this points towards a God of War 2, and that definitely could be the case, but 30 job postings is a lot, especially because they have the core of the team for God of War already established. I could see this being a secondary team, and that's what the Sony first-party studios have always done really well. They don't stay stuck to the same IP for a very long time. We saw that with Naughty Dog when they were really juggling between The Last of Us and Uncharted. I would love to see other studios follow suit. You see Sucker Punch, they're not sticking around with Infamous, they're creating Ghost of Tsushima. I'd love if Santa Monica, while yes, one part of their studio are hard at work work at God of War 2. I would love to see a secondary part of Santa Monica Studio work on a new IP, because that's how you keep these IPs as fresh as possible. If you go back to the well over and over again and you put out God of War 2, then you put out God of War 3, and even in the case of a Guerrilla Games, we saw as they kept churning out Killzone game after Killzone game after Killzone game, Killzone got a little bit stale, but then they moved on to Horizon Zero Dawn, and that game captivated gamers. Well, in the case of Guerrilla as well, if they kept churning out Horizon sequel after Horizon sequel, at some point that franchise is going to get stale as well. So I think the best case scenario, if you can get to a point where you can juggle between a couple of different IPs, at that point you're not letting any of these franchises get stale, and I think that's best case scenario when it comes to these studios. If a God of War 2 was announced as, say, a PlayStation 5 launch title, would anybody be disappointed? Absolutely not. But I'd also like to see Santa Monica work on something different, because for a long time they've put out so many God of War games, and while the 2018 title was very different, I would like to see what else Sony Santa Monica Studio could come up with. Moving on from that, a lot of us were wondering when we're actually gonna get a chance to play the Dreams public beta, and now it has been confirmed that signups are coming tomorrow, and Media Molecule will be holding a brand new live stream. Now, the beta was open to those that were subscribed to the Media Molecule newsletter, but that was a very small amount of people, so now it's gonna start opening up to the rest of us, and this is a game I think so many gamers still have to be sold on, because yes, it's a very ambitious project, a game that lets you create other games, that's an ambitious project, but we've seen creativity as Media Molecule's strong suit. They put out Little Big Planet, and I don't think expectations for the first LBP were really that high, but then we see how that game turned out. I foresee Media Molecule putting out something special with Dreams. It's just been in development for so long, and with these games that have seemingly been in the works for so long, a little bit of skepticism is to arise, but hopefully a public beta can clear some of that up. Again, signups start tomorrow.
That need to make something again. We'll make it. Me and you.
And moving on from that, of course, Call of Duty will be seeing another new entry in 2019, but a new report is suggesting that this game will not be Call of Duty Ghosts 2. Kotaku reporter Jason Schreier, who's known for his insider sources, commented on a Restera thread saying, quote, "It ain't Ghosts 2. Now, one interesting thing to note is that 2019 will mark the 10-year anniversary of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I don't think this points towards a new Call of Duty Modern Warfare title, but I think it's about time we see a remaster for MW2. That's something that was being teased for a very long time. I imagine that 2019's COD title will come with some sort of special edition, and then maybe we could get a Modern Warfare 2 remastered in there as well, just like they did with MW1 remastered with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. At this point, it just looks like the next Call of Duty title won't be COD Ghosts 2, which I think is a good thing. It's not like Call of Duty Ghosts really set anyone's world on fire. However, COD Ghosts campaign did end on a huge cliffhanger, so it's kind of unfortunate that we never got to see that fleshed out. But at this point, it looks like 2019's Call of Duty title isn't COD Ghosts 2. And lastly, we've been talking a lot about Battlefield 5's commercial numbers, and VG Charts has the first post on how this game did at retail, specifically stating that it sold around 1.4 million units in its first week at retail. Now, is that a good number? No, not by Battlefield standards. That actually makes it fall short of Battlefield Hardline, which was a game not a lot of people were excited for, and it was really just a bridge the gap kind of game. Battlefield 4 was at 2.72 million, Battlefield 1 was at 2.8 million, and Battlefield 3 was at a staggering 4.68 million. So even comparatively speaking to like Battlefield 1, it's half down from that, and that is very, very disappointing. We've already seen Battlefield 5 as a game that EA has slashed the prices on. You can regularly find it for $30, and I think that's indicative of the fact this game isn't doing all too well commercially. Now, we do have to know that since the release of the existing Battlefield titles like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 1, and Battlefield 4, there has been more of a reliance on digital gaming, and VG Charts only has retail sales numbers. However, it's not like digital sales have boomed up so much where it would cause retail sales dropping that hard isn't just from digital sales increasing. You can point towards maybe 100,000 less copies being sold, but 1.4 million copies less than Battlefield 1, that's not just digital sales increasing, that's a fact of Battlefield 5's marketing just not being there. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, Dusk, a very well-received game on PC, is headed over to the PlayStation 4, as is Jackquest Tale of the Sword. That'll be launching on January 24th at just $9.99. Santa Monica Studio looks to be on a hiring spree as they have over 30 job listings posted under game development. Is this just to work on God of War 2, or could it be for a secondary team working on a brand new IP? That's what I would like to see. Dreams public beta signups are coming tomorrow, and a live stream will be held by Media Molecule. It looks like 2019's Call of Duty game is not COD Ghosts 2, and Battlefield 5 sells around 1.4 million units at its first week at retail. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.